Now that all the mediocre Kuudra guides have been released, it's about time that I bring you the ultimate guide towards Kuudra, showcasing and explaining all the roles in Kuudra and the functions. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. With the release of the 0.17.1 update introducing the new party finder system for Kuudra, along came the Infernal tier of Kuudra. While the meta for tier 4 had been all 4 specialists, the new fight combated these tactics, leading players to develop the new meta: 1 crowd control, 1 cannoneer, and 2 specialists. Before we get into the fight, I must stress the gear which is required for each class. If you wish to run efficiently, you should really listen to these suggestions. For everyone in the run, you should be running with the Fortuitous Reforge, unless you have enough crit chance to still have 100 with a damage Reforge. This does include crowd control. For crowd control, you should have a Plasma Flux or an SOS Flare, a fully scrolled Hyperion, 3/4 Fiery Aurora or higher with Wither Goggles, and possibly for build phase, a 100 million coin Midas Staff. I haven't really seen this, so maybe it's impractical, I don't really know. You should also have a set of Terror, which is burning or higher, as well as a Warden Helmet for the last phase, a Duplex Last Breath, a good Terminator, and either a Gauntlet or something with high breaking power to damage the pods when you're stunning. What is definitely most efficient is the 655 or a Devonstro with this blue cheese goblin helmet, because it allows you to insta-mine the pods. For Cannoneer and Specialist, you should also have 3/4 Fiery Aurora, and since you won't be doing a lot of damage, it is recommended that you do use a Spirit Mask just because it allows you to revive yourself without having to go through the process of dying and then waiting multiple seconds. You should also have 3/4 Fiery Terror with a Warden Helmet and a Precursor Eye. It is also recommended that you have a Fatal Tempo Terminator to go along with your Duplex Terminator, which you will definitely need. For all classes, you should also be using the Golden Dragon Pet with a 1 build bank. For all classes, you should also have an easy way to heal, such as the Wand of Atonement, which does not require much mana, and a Gyrokinetic or Wither Cloak Sword in case of dropships. The Gyrokinetic Wand especially is very helpful because it doesn't take a lot of mana. All you have to do is right click and it grants temporary invulnerability. Now, let's get into the boss fight. Starting off the fight, you want everyone to pre-fire 1 supply. The important supplies to pre-fire are everything but square. The reason for this is that in Kuudra, there are safe spots which have been tested to not be in range of any tentacles, meaning you can sit there without being touched by a single tentacle. Square is a spot which, no matter the tentacle locations, will be free. The point being, you want to get the supplies that are far away from safe spots first, because if they are left unattended, tentacles which fling you can spawn and take minutes away from your run. Just so you know, if you are crowd control in this phase, you should attempt to pre-fire a supply, but if it goes poorly, either take a supply in a safe spot such as square, or clear the mobs to help out the specialists and the cannoneers when they are delivering the supplies. Now comes building. The crowd control is very important in this phase, since they are required to make sure the specialists and the cannoneer are not being hit by mobs. Make sure to place your SOS Flare or Plasma Flux to keep your mana up in this phase. At this point in the run, specialists should not have spent any tokens on steady hands, since the safe spots would have prompted them no need for such upgrade. You will want to level up your Ballista Mechanic perk as high as you can get it, just so that building is a lot more reliable. If you are a crowd control in this phase, I cannot stress enough, do not try to build the Ballista until all the mobs are cleared. If you are building it in the meantime, it means your specialists are probably being hit by several mobs, which will cause way more downtime than anticipated. Once the Ballista is complete, here comes the most complicated phase of the fight. There are a few ways to do this, but I'll just be teaching you the standard way with the CC stun. How this works is, the crowd control purchases the human cannonball perk and left clicks while on a cannon to enter Kuudra. Once in Kuudra, the AOTV on the right side to his little rib thing. Being on this bone will mean that you will take no knockback from the bacteria. You will want to break the pod adjacent to you until the health is down to 5%. All the while, the specialists and cannoneers are fueling the ballista with fuel cells. As a specialist, you will want to level steady hands to the best of your ability in this phase, ensuring that it takes less time to fuel. Cannoneers will dump all their points that they've accumulated throughout the run into the steady aim perk, which does more damage upon shooting the ballista. For fuel cells, only 4 are required. Some callouts in chat can be 1, meaning you have the third fuel cell, or L, meaning you have the last fuel cell. Once the ballista is fueled and the CC is ready, meaning the pod is on 5%, the cannoneer will mount the cannon and shoot. As soon as the cannoneer mounts, the CC will break the last block on the pod and Kuudra will no longer be invulnerable. During this time, you want everyone outside of Kuudra to be wearing 3/4 terror with their precursor eye and spamming shift and right and left click with their duplex term. If all goes well and Kuudra is hit enough, Kuudra will be one-phased and go into the last phase. This is where the whole team should be using Terror and the Warden Helmet. There are a few ways this can go. If your CC has a Fatal Tempest Terminator, then whoever doesn't have one should be using a Last Breath to lower Kuudra's defense. The Last Breathers should be communicated and decided before the run, however. You don't need to spam Last Breath the entire time, but do it a few times. Since everyone is running Fortuitous or a Damage Reforge, this shouldn't take too long to kill Kuudra. As someone who is shooting Kuudra, you want to spam right-click with your term. This will also allow the Terminator's ability to proc multiple times, inflicting a massive amount of damage. Also, I hadn't included this at the start, but using a Withered Ragnarok Axe really helps your DPS. Once you've dealt the final blow, you've done it. You've officially killed Kuudra and have been rewarded with a vast loot table, ranging from items that are worthy of being thrown out, to items which sell for hundreds of millions. Well, there you go. That was the full Infernal Kuudra guide. I really hope this helps a lot of you understand both what is required and what you have to do to successfully and consistently kill Kuudra efficiently. If you wish to learn more about the pricing of the armor, I will make sure to explain it a bit in the description of this video. If you liked this video, consider subscribing and clicking on the videos on the screen now.